The insert is now plastered and ready to install. Next, the base plate is placed into the cutout and pulled securely down into the plaster. The base plate is now fully back bonded and ready for the next step. We can now apply the first coat of plaster. When the plaster is dry, we are ready to sand and paint, taking great care as well to keep the inner rebate clear of all paint. Thanks to Teclite Industries insert system, we now have a completely trimless install of our new LED light. Today we are going to show you how to go from a rectangular shaped halogen downlight to a modern LED round downlight. Teclite Industries have developed an insert system to convert this rectangular hole to a single round hole suitable for smaller modern LED lighting. Uniquely to Teclite Industries, the finish will be truly trimless or absolutely flush to the ceiling, not on the ceiling. This is achieved by using Teclite Industries' Plaster-In insert system. The insert system consists of a base plate and an insert. We will now demonstrate how this system is installed. We have now removed the rectangular halogen light. Here we have our rectangular cutout, which we have modified to take the base plate and insert. We modified the cutout on each long side of the hole, trimming away a little bit of excess so that we can fit our base plate. As you can see, the base plate now covers the spaces on either end left by the oversized rectangular cutout. After checking the base plate fit, we screw the inner insert back in and do a quick check. For the plastering trade, it should be noted the plaster should not be above or below this rim. We now apply plaster to the perimeter of the base plate. Next, the base plate is placed into the cutout and pulled securely down into the plaster. The base plate is now fully back bonded and ready for the next step. Now that the base plate is securely set, we can wind the insert inner ring to approximately 1 to 1.5 millimeters below the ceiling level. Use a straight edge or ruler to set. We can now apply the first coat of plaster. For speed, we hold the insert in place to ensure no unwanted movement. This is sufficient for the first coat, and we can now let this dry for 10 to 15 minutes. The base plate is now securely bonded and in position. We can now apply the second coat of plaster. Make sure to keep the inner rebate the light will sit in free from all plaster. Clean this area after applying the plaster. Make sure to keep the inner rebate the light will sit in free from all plaster. The plaster is now scraped back in preparation for the final finishing coat. The third and final finishing plaster is now applied. Once again, ensure the inner rebate is cleaned out and free from all plaster. We now leave to dry. Once dry, the area can be sanded and painted, ready for fitting the light. Here we can see the LED light being test fitted. We can also see that it is totally flush to the ceiling. It is undetectable that this was once a rectangular old halogen dual light. After sanding and painting, the light is fitted by a registered electrician. Thanks to Teclite Industries insert system, we now have a completely trimless install of our new LED light. Here we have Teclite's new face mount insert. As the name implies, this insert is mounted on the board and not in behind the board or jib. This is particularly useful where structure in the ceiling is problematic. Minimal prep is required to the cutout. This insert is aimed at the trade, however, any competent plasterer can fit quickly and efficiently. The insert provides the ability to resize the hole and fit LED lighting, trimless or flush to the ceiling. Cutout size for this insert is 120mm. Resize the cutout with a jigsaw or Stanley knife to suit if required. We will now demonstrate how this insert is installed. The first step is to apply a small amount of plaster to the inner edge of the cutout. This is to hold the insert in place. Now the insert is placed into the cutout, ensuring the inner seat is located in the cutout. The insert is pushed firmly into the plaster, ensuring good contact with plaster applied. The insert will now be well held by the plaster and will not move. Depending on preference, you can leave the plaster to set for a little while. Confident plasterers may be fine with applying the first face coat of plaster now. Now we move straight to the first coat of face plaster. As we move straight to this step, you may like to steady the insert with a finger. Ensure you scrape any excess from the insert inner area. Pay particular attention to the inner rebate, as this is where the light will be seated. The plaster is now left to harden firm, and then scrape back ready for the next coat. The next step is to apply finishing plaster, ensuring the rebate is cleaned again. It should be noted that this rebate should also be kept clear of paint when painting. Ensuring the rebate is cleaned again. As you can see, competent plasterers should be able to complete an insert installation in approximately 7 to 10 minutes. When the plaster is dry, we are ready to sand and paint, taking great care as well to keep the inner rebate clear of all paint. After sanding and painting, the light was fitted by a registered electrician. We now have a finished LED light installation with a beautiful flush finish, thanks to Teclite Industries face mount insert system.